Evening all, don't worry, see, I haven't forgotten about Dust, so let's play some Dust. This is a good video, I think, in terms of a bit of a transitory video. What I'm going to do here is start with the AR, and we're going to then shift back to the shotgun. This comes from, I think, a number of people who said, you know, not terribly, I think, happy with the AR that I'm using on the scout suit and all this good stuff. So kind of agree with you. It's a good mix, but I think, you know, I do miss the shotgun. And I think sometimes you can play this game with just complete, you know, blinkered vision of winning. So not necessarily having fun, not necessarily considering other things. And I think, you know, certainly the return to the shotgun is hopefully a marker that I'm having a bit more fun in Dust. Let's talk about Dust. There's an interesting kind of scenario. I think yesterday I looked online and I think only 2,900 people were playing Dust. So that's nothing to be worried about. It's actually just the fact that Battlefield 4 beta is out, and obviously GTA and GTA Online are also out as well, which we will reference and talk about in this video. Now, I think from a point of view, the reality is that every so often a game comes along that pretty much redefines, you know, the genre, or even redefines gaming itself. Minecraft was a great example, Skyrim, and I think Grand Theft Auto Online, when it works, is going to be another one of these games. It's pretty good. It's incredibly good, in fact. And playing it kind of reminds me of the kind of origins of why I got into Dust. And it's an interesting one because for me, you know, having played Eve for so many years and being very familiar with, you know, the kind of sandbox of Eve, there was always this expectation that Dust would be the same. And the reality is, it's not. It's very much a confined shooter. We've spoken about this before, but what I think is particularly kind of interesting is how you can still make this kind of confined shooter, you know, where you have rounds, you join a round, you fight, and then you go back. I think is still very plausibly applicable to this game as well. This is why, I mean, I don't know if any CCP people watch these videos. I have no idea. I really hope that somebody in the development team watches this or reads something that, you know, that many people are posting, which is that they should probably check out Grand Theft Auto Online and really understand how they have taken effectively a mission-based game and given it an open world piece. Now, I know from just conversation and such that they're never really going to make Dust an open kind of open world game. But when you look at GTA Online, it's not really open world either. It appears to be, but it's actually just a very big map that you actually kind of jump to and from when you do missions. So, you know, it's very cleverly done. I would highly urge CCP to look at it, because you could almost take, you know, all of the maps that Dust has, all of the rounds and gameplay modes that it has. If you just change the mechanics slightly, so instead of team v team deathmatch, you could do capture the flag or something of that nature, then you're not a million miles away from having effectively an open, you know, almost a GTA version of Dust. Now, believe me, I know a lot of you are games developers, and you're laughing and scratching your neck beards and drinking your Mountain Dew right now, laughing at my foolishness, because of course coding this and blip blop blah blah blue blue blop that doesn't work. So you can't obviously do that Python injection blah blah. So you just said a load of words I don't get. I'm not a games developer, but I know what I like. And I think a lot of the time, sometimes games that are made by games developers are games made with limitations, whereas games made with a marketing person or somebody like me is aspirational. And I think you should always go with aspiration before technical capability. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, so I think you could create a very big map for Dust. It would have to be simple, you know, low polygons. See, not that stupid. But you could make something very big, and as long as you could get like 60, 70 people in it, well, less actually. GTA Online, I think, only has about 20 people per map. And then you just instance many different versions of that map. You could, in theory, create an open world. I mean, let's just imagine that map was a spaceship, a Titan. So you know, you don't need to worry about outside. It could all be a massive map inside, but it could be very simple: huge hangar bays, you know, entries, gantries, you know, officer quarters, you know, merc quarters, whatever it may be. But it could be a huge sprawling map that you can walk around. Okay, so, you know, forget stations, forget all that, just literally make it something simple that you could put a lot of people into, and then just have it like the quarters. So if you imagine the quarters we've got now, and you make that as big as the, you know, big as literally the size of one of the biggest maps in this current version, you could then have some form of social, you know, almost like GTA free roaming experience. And then all you do is you meet up, or you use the interface that GTA use, which is friends and buddy list and corp list and crew and all that, and then you just go and run matches. I really, really hope that CCP play GTA Online and they really get the ideas from it, because the way they've done it, and I think technically the simplicity of how they've done it is very good. It's not working currently, but this is where I think CCP, I'm gonna pay them a compliment here, so get ready for it. CCP, I feel, have got a massive amount more knowledge and experience than Rockstar do at doing online games. That is guaranteed. If you want to argue with me, don't, because it's just not, you know, I'm right in this. And I think they could do it in, it would be buggy, it would take time, but just think how that would differentiate this already. Currently with Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty blah 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 coming out, you know, the reality is that Dust is not going to be able to compete, because it could be the best game in the world, but its brand is nowhere near as strong as Battlefield and Call of Duty. If it differentiated its game, we call this, you know, blue ocean thinking. So you're not competing in a red ocean, you're competing in a blue ocean, which is free of tooth and claw of competition. You actually reinvent the game, and you could create a future, you know, almost a futuristic version of GTA with a lot less complexity, because we're not dealing with 6 million people here, but you could just make something which has the social aspect, the free world forming piece, you know, the ability to go and get a tank and test it on the belly of a Titan driving it around, the ability to call in a drop ship and fly alongside the, you know, anything in space. It could be so simple, but, and it probably would look shit to begin with, but the scale and scope of that would be like, wow, people would get that. So whereas before, the one thing that the gaming press seemed to really focus upon was an EVE player shooting the ground for the Dust dudes and that interaction, that was what got their attention. Imagine how you could redesign Dust to be a very simple version of GTA, but it would have free world sandbox kind of stuff, and it would then and social element, so you could even meet up with your crew, and then you would have this kind of ability to drop into matches as you see here, so you don't need to change anything there. Imagine that. Imagine how sort of cruel that would be. Imagine, I'm not going to say simple that would be, but if anybody can do it, CCP can. Anyway, there we go. These are just musings of a very overly drunk, tired man, but I honestly do think that you've got to think big, and I still believe Dust is an exceptional game. Do not stop playing it. If you watch these videos and if you pay any credence to what I say, don't stop playing Dust. Keep playing it, because just a round here and there really helps your mental state. Trust me, it does. But I feel there's something there. After playing GTA Online and seeing the simplicity of how they've done it, we're not talking 6 million people. We could be talking 10,000 players. You could have 100 different instances, whatever it may be. But just imagine that free-form massive map based on the ship or based on the station. Ship would be cool, where you could just do these simple things, and then you go to fight on the ground. Imagine how simple and easy that maybe would be in terms of how cool it would be. So there we go. These are the aspirations of a person who has played this game for a long time, loves it, and just wants to see it develop. GTA, and I think just a quick point there actually, if you don't play other games and you just play Dust continually, you're missing out. Do consider playing other games. Your loyalty to CCP is admirable, and you should continue to play Dust. And if you're not playing Dust currently, if you think it sucks or whatever, give it a go. Just load it up, give it a go, try some matches. And if you're still not happy with it, don't forget it, but don't delete it. Just get ready and keep it, I think, at least in your library. Hope you enjoyed that. I think these are certainly some of the things that playing other games have given me. I having played Battlefield 4 now, the beta, and having played GTA online, I just feel that there's no point trying to compete with Battlefield 4, and what they should do is make a completely different game. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.